Birdie on BadCatz is powered by Ciabra, the food bar. What was the new stuff today?
No, it wasn't new. It's pretty much the same.
Have you had the shrimp and peppers yet?
Yeah, no, I took some shrimp peppers over rice with a pork loin and some broccoli.
Really? Unbelievable.
Pork loin, yeah.
Unbelievable. And you put my stuff with the chicken wings.
You had some chorizo and peppers with the chicken wings.
Yeah, chicken
But I had to see you eat a little healthier than the other stuff you were eating earlier. So. You got shorted last time because we went.
Let's just say I had an adventure last night.
Okay. No, but the last time we went to get some food over there, you got shorted because they didn't have no chorizo and peppers.
Yeah, usually it's Mondays.
And then I went the next day, but they had it today.
Usually it's Mondays. But this is this Ciaba's becoming habit forming. You know what I mean? This is it.
Well, any place that has a place where you can go in and eat cooked food already made like that is so much simpler. And then you saw what the service was like at some of the takeout today, right?
Listen, yeah, and it's flavorful. It's not like the bland stuff that they have in all those other places, man. I'm telling you right now, if Ciabra was a stock, I'd buy it.
The key is it's cooked, so it's already, you don't have to cook. That's the key with me.
Yeah, I hear you. Crazy week in the NFL, boy. Crazy week in the NFL.
It's still overload, man, because baseball playoffs, NFL, and everything else that's going on.
In my opinion.
Yeah, college football weekend. Hockey, hot Bruins Saturday night started, right, Riley?
Yeah.
You were sporting that Bruins hat last week.
I love the Bruins.
Basketball this week, Friday or Saturday.
Everything. It's just...
Yeah, it's overload. You got to focus in on one thing, but you got, everything going all at once. And
it's tough.
You got to be selective where you want to...
Especially when you live in a, part of the U.S. where usually every team is, one of the best in the league.
Wow. Yeah. As we've said before, it never was that way, but...
No, I know, but for the past 20 years or so, it's been like that, so...
You go down
almost every team is good.
And they're just screaming and yelling down there about how bad their teams are. Oh. So, New York.
Yeah, all their teams suck right now.
Giants, the Jets.
Their best team is probably the Knicks, and they're not even that good. Oh, no, the Nets.
Well, they got the Nets, but that's really New Jersey, and now they're in Brooklyn, so...
No, that's New York, bro. Brooklyn.
Well, it was New Jersey originally.
I hear you. But ain't no more. That place is nice. You been there?
No.
Unbelievable.
Barclays Center, right?
Yeah. I mean, it was just a matter of time, but before you couldn't build in Manhattan anymore, and you have to go to Brooklyn. You know what I mean?
They got so much money down there, but, got to compete with the Knicks. I mean...
How many teams... Okay. How many teams... you think can realistically win a Super Bowl? I hope I'm not forgetting anybody. This is going to be a segment that.
Well, the only factor that you got to key that nobody can predict is injuries.
Yeah.
And
well, you can't do that. Fucking nobody.
Yeah, it's rough.
I'd probably it's 3 or 4 in the AFC, 3 or 4 in the NFC. Right?
Yeah, I was gonna say about 8, 4 each maybe, but we'll get into it later.
Some team might come out of nowhere, get hot at the right time.
I think I got my 4. So.
Look at the Ravens. Everybody thought they were at the beginning of the year didn't like them. Now all of a sudden they're red hot, right?
I think I'm past that. I don't.
One person's been pushing the Ravens hard. I don't know who that is.
You.
I don't know.
Yeah, in a man, Valley, you're the man.
I don't know. I just that win this week was a statement win.
It was a statement.
Massive win.
Massive, huge win.
We'll get into that, and I'm all set whenever you're ready.
I'm ready to rock and roll.
All right. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another edition of BadCatz Sportscast. I am the Hurricane Mike Herren. To the left of me is the Birdman, fresh back from a safari at Foxwoods.
Not a good one.
A deep, dark tale of poker, craps, and gambling on the NFL.
Yeah, don't do this at home.
Oh my. It sounds like my kind of party. Oh. But I don't know how to play poker or craps.
Wow.
I do know how to play blackjack, and I myself, took a loss at just at the Tiverton Twin River late. I went on an excursion last night, Birdman,
Okay.
and we have the undefeated, undisputed, under 21 sports podcast talk champ in all the world. Ladies and gentlemen, I bring to you Rowdy Riley Arruda.
It's a lot to live up to.
We all had a rough week.
Yeah, I didn't have it.
A rough week.
I know, yeah, definitely.
Okay. This is how it starts, right? This is an amazing time for sports. I mean, you got hockey just started. Basketball literally starts tomorrow, I think, right?
Sometime
Yeah.
soon.
College football had a crazy week, okay? Major League Baseball's down to 4 teams, and we're one of it. Fenway Park is going to be on fire.
Wow.
Okay?
Basketball starts tomorrow.
And the NFL is already on fire as teams in week 6, like we talked about, start to separate from the pack.
They're separating all right.
And they're separating surely. But to get things started, okay, my man Rowdy Riley hits
Oof.
an unbelievable pick. So somebody explain to you what happened, how it went down.
So basically, every Thursday after we do our normal podcast, we do a fantasy football podcast, which you guys should check out. It's like 5 minutes after we do. Me and Birdie pick one team each on FanDuel.
Yeah.
You have a certain amount of money to pick a team. And you
I
pick
am the
players,
executive
whatever.
producer of
Yes.
that segment. So
Mike gives us the money for that, and
Yeah.
he helps us out, asks us questions, whatever. And then, so I picked a team, and top to bottom, whatever, I had a bunch of players. And that every week there's certain, what would you call that, Birdie?
It's a bonus.
Like a bonus you
yeah.
can win. So they had a $100,000 bonus to anybody who can pick the defense that scores a touchdown, and whoever picks it, they split the money between all those people. And the defense I picked was the Panthers, and the Panthers got they blocked a punt and got a touchdown. And for some reason, I don't know why, but if you can go back and listen to it, I said, I don't know, I have a feeling that the Panthers could get a interception for a touchdown or maybe a block punt. I don't know. And then they got the block punt.
Absolutely.
And we won part of it. Wasn't much, so don't come knocking on our door, but because the Cowboys also got a touchdown. So what was the percentage of total people, Birdie?
3.6% of the people predicted that Carolina would get a defensive touchdown out of 500,000, right?
550,000.
550,000.
And then the Cowboys also got a
had
touchdown
16.5%.
for Trayvon Diggs. So if you add up, it was almost 20% of 500,000
so
people
it didn't amount
got
to
that. So we didn't
anything,
we
but
didn't
at
get
least
anything.
That's still a
but-
tremendous
yeah.
pick, though.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah.
Appreciate it.
And ours was first.
Yes, exactly.
And,
It's a lot harder to choose too because
Yeah.
the Cowboys is not easy to call, but it's easier to call because like Diggs has like 7 interceptions, but before that 6 interceptions on the year. I just had a weird feeling about the Panthers, and it just was right there.
If you look at what the Dallas Cowboys have been able to do through the draft and what the Patriots haven't been able to do through the draft, Lou Maloney was talking about it on WEI today, and sometimes he drives me a little crazy. I think he comes from a negative place a lot, as that station does. But I mean, today when he was just ripping into, the bad drafts and the bad picks and over again, and N'Keal Harry and Sonny Michel and
Yep.
this one and that one.
Well, the Cowboys
That's right.
they had to do a complete overhaul on the defense, so they drafted. I think their entire draft was defense.
sure.
So I mean, they hit on it.
But they
because-
drafted Dak Prescott. They drafted Ezekiel Elliott, right? They drafted C.D. Lamb.
Yes.
They drafted Diggs. They drafted Martin.
Yeah. The Patriots seem to have gone the route of free agency after this past year with all the people they brought in. So
For 2019, the Patriots drafted N'Keal Harry at 32. And then at 36, the San Francisco 49ers took Deebo Samuel, who's been looking a lot better than N'Keal Harry has this year.
Yeah.
And then the next wide receiver taken is Mecole Hardman, who hasn't been that great, but he's better than N'Keal Harry.
The kid from Seattle, too, right?
Yeah, he's coming up. But then who else? DK Metcalf as well.
Yeah, of course.
And then there was one more, I believe, that was really, really
They
big.
definitely missed on
Wasn't it
Metcalf.
McLaurin was in the 2019 draft as well?
Yeah, it might have been.
yeah,
I'm not
and then Terry McLaurin was in that draft
sure.
as well. So they've been missing out on quite a few
Sure.
players and just taking the wrong one. But the Sony Michel one too, because I believe Nick Chubb was in that draft as well, and they took the wrong running back
Yeah,
in that one.
What do you guys think of the takeover by we them boys, the Cowboy fans, at Gillette Stadium? All you read and saw on social media all day was the Cowboy fans just in the stadium going crazy. I mean, are the Patriots fans being exposed for being front runners? Not because a lot of diehard football fans tell me that the Patriots aren't real football fans. That they got lucky, they had it, but they had a run and blah blah blah. I mean, are they real Birdie? You were surprised today talking about how'd they get the tickets?
Where'd they get the tickets? Previously in the Tom Brady era, I know guys that had season ticket holders, and I couldn't give them enough money to part ways with their tickets. So I don't know if it's all recycled in the other direction now, or they just decided they don't believe in the team and they want to just make some money back. I don't know. I mean, the Cowboys historically, like the Steelers, have a massive Green Bay, massive
Chicago
following. Yeah. So they're gonna. And
it's called they travel well.
So they're gonna offer you the right price. I guess you're gonna say, yeah, okay, I'll sit this game out. I guess that's what happened.
I mean, the tickets got to come from season ticket holders or ticket brokers.
Well, I don't know what the percentage of brokers that would be getting access to tickets there. I would think mostly it's season ticket holders, but obviously somebody's profiting from this because, like you said, those Cowboy people, they didn't just go online and get those tickets, before the game started. So
it's a lot easier to find tickets when you're for the home team when your team isn't isn't that great. I mean, it happens to every team around the nation. When I went to the Jaguars game a couple years ago, it was the year before the Jaguars went to the AFC Championship game. By like halftime, it was pretty much all Broncos fans in the stadium, and there was like no Jaguars fans. Granted, the Jaguars are never going to be anything like the Patriots, but it's what happens. It's a trend in sports. It's easier to find tickets, and like you said, I think the Cowboys have the most popular most fans in all of the NFL because they're just America's team. And
I swear to God, in New Bedford, everybody I know is a Cowboy fan.
It's the biggest.
Crazy.
It's the biggest fan base in the NFL. I really, if someone pulled the statistic up, I would bet $100 that it would say the Cowboys have the most fans in America, and probably outside of America as well, because it's just everybody knows what that little star is on the hat.
Yeah, it's amazing. The brand is unbelievable.
Yeah, and they haven't won for forever, and they're still branding great.
Mika said they have their brand on toothpicks. She said everything from toothpicks to massive tow trucks that are suspended from the ceiling in Jones's world. From the ceiling.
Yeah, well, down there, yeah.
Cowboy trucks.
No, I believe it.
It's nuts.
I mean, you're talking about a brand that is insane. But before
haven't won in forever though.
Yeah, but before
they're hungry.
Before we dive into the NFL and the week that it was, we're going to talk tonight about the Red Sox first. 1-1 against the Astros. Game goes back to Fenway. We know that Fenway Park will be rocking and rolling. Okay, is there a home field advantage in baseball, or is there a home field advantage in some parks?
No, there is. It's not, to me. It's not like football or some of these other sports, but there is an advantage because you play 81 games there. Fenway Park's a unique place.
Sure.
The way the ball comes off the wall, the way it goes into the angle. So if you're the
pesky
outfield,
pole, the Green Monster,
you're the home team. You're accustomed to knowing how the ball's going to play out there. How many times did the Astros play there this year? 3,
Sure.
5, maybe. So I would think that would be the main advantage.
but the fans will be there, will be wild, and I guarantee you, the Astros fans will be limited. I hope it will not be like Foxborough.
No,
it's not going to be like Foxborough was yesterday. No. But that ain't happening.
That Houston crowd, though, was pretty loud from what I saw over the weekend down there. And one thing about the Astros, and they didn't quit. They were down in that game Saturday. They were there, fought back. You would think 9-0, that's it, you're done. You just throw in the towel. They fought till the end. So
that's what scares me. Like, they were up 9-0 and they gave up 5 runs. Like, that's a lot of runs to give up as 5. Like, if they didn't score one grand slam, if they only had 1 grand slam in that game which 1 grand slam in one game is like, wow, that's really great.
Yeah.
The game would be tied. Like, they needed that extra grand slam to go up by 4. That's what really scares me. Like the Red Sox need to find a way to limit their scoring, limit the Astros scoring. Same thing in game 1. They scored how many runs did the Astros score in game 1?
5.
Yeah, so they're averaging 5 runs a game, and
we don't want that time rally because me and Birdie bet the over on the run. So
all right. Yeah. Have the Red Sox score 10, the Astros score none. There you go. But we just need to limit. We need to limit their scoring if we want to win, because it's just that worries me a lot.
I totally agree with you. And another thing that we realize about this Red Sox team and their manager, Alex Cora said it. This team is led by their offense and their aggressiveness. And I fully expect them to come out aggressive and swinging the bats tonight, regardless of the money that we put on the line. But let's talk to me about these pitcher matchups, Birdie. I mean, what should the Red Sox expect to see, and what should the Astros?
Well, I really don't know. It's kind of like you're playing this game by game, really, especially Houston, because their pitching staff's like in complete disarray right now with McCullers not being on the roster. The Red Sox, you got Erod tonight, and then I really don't know who they're going to be going with in the next game, to be honest with you. I don't know if they're going to pitch Pavetta, and I don't know if they've announced anything yet, but I think Cora's just taking it day to day, playing the game that's in front of them right now, so we'll see.
Yeah, there's been lots of stories. In some stories, Cora being suspended for a season, Kiki Vandeweghe, doing unbelievable.
Yeah, he's doing it.
You talked about his postseason numbers, and you said they were the best of all time. Can you break that down?
They just showed a statistic where over I believe a 4 or 5 game postseason stretch, this guy in the history of baseball right now, 15 for 25. It's just unconscious, the bat that he's swinging right now. The only guy that even comes close to this, or the only 2 that I can even compare from past postseasons, was obviously Big Papi, who had a lot of key hits, but he didn't have as many hits as Kiki did.
And a lot of big RBIs.
And key hits and big RBIs. And Carlos Beltran back in 2004 with Houston was the only guy that was on a somewhat similar tail like this. They couldn't get him out, but this is historic. If he keeps hitting like this, Mike, this is something we've never seen before. So,
but people in LA have seen him hit like this in the playoffs before.
Well, why did they get rid of him there?
I don't know. Well, because they wanted Mookie Betts.
Yeah.
And
I wish we could have them both.
He's not
making a lot of money from what I believe. I don't think he's but he's going to be when he comes up for another contract, though. He keeps playing like this. So.
No, I mean, this kid has done it before in the postseason. He's been a postseason hero for the Dodgers, and it travels, and that resume travels, and he comes here, and he's doing it for the Red Sox. Why is the buzz a little different about this Red Sox team this year? Is it because they were underdogs, because there was no expectations, or did we count them out as a fan base, multiple times?
Yeah, this is like. This is great because nobody expected this. I didn't. I follow them all the time. You didn't. I'm sure you didn't.
No.
I mean, this just came out of nowhere. I mean, they were playing well during most of the regular season, but then they went into a slump. And then, toward the end of the year when the Yankees swept them, it was like, I can't remember anybody that had
all hope was gone.
So for them to get on a tail like this at the right time, I mean.
But somehow, some way, they're here.
Yeah.
They're in front of us. They have an amazing opportunity.
And their confidence level is through the roof.
They could take a 2-1 lead.
Yep.
That'd be amazing because I picked them to win in 5. So if it was 2-1, I mean, that's like almost that time for 5-1 right there.
Yeah.
So
Oh, no, yeah.
So we're looking good right now. We really need this win tonight, and we need to keep the runs low. But I even said before the season I had no hope in them, no hope at all. And then when the season started, I was like, okay, they look really good. And then after the All-Star break, I lost it again. And then
It was a roller coaster.
exactly
ride.
what I was getting to, a roller coaster ride. Then the Yankees came again, and it was like I was all the way down to the bottom, and then the Orioles, and I got up a little bit, and the Yankees game again. Now I'm up, and now we're here. So hopefully the ride keeps going. That'll be awesome.
Yeah, and we have totally turned the postseason pathetic performances around, and now absolutely own the Yankees and the Mexican American League in playoff success for the 2000 till now, certainly. But the buzz around them, is it because they're an underdog still, that they're scrappy, that let's face it, I don't think there's a Red Sox fan out there that wouldn't say that we're on borrowed time.
No, like I said, the confidence level's through the roof. And now that you're at home, now this is your chance to put your foot on the throat of the Astros. So you got a minimum 2 out of 3 here at home.
Yeah, you need to, right?
To go back to Houston. So.
It's gonna be really tough, but they've been, I feel like they were underdogs at the beginning of the season for a lot of the time, and then when they got to first place, I feel like they kind of lost the underdog like part to them, and people were saying like, oh, this team's not as good as we thought they were, like they just overachieved for half the season, and then people were like, okay, they're not that good, like they were just fakers, they weren't like we're not buying them anymore. So they were underdogs and they weren't, and I feel like now we are again because they're like, oh, you barely made it to the wild card. Nobody was picking them to get this far. Nobody was picking them to beat the Yankees. Nobody was even picking them to go past the Rays, who won 100-something games.
Yeah, absolutely.
And then you beat them in good fashion, 3-1. Now you're facing the Astros team, who recently just won the World Series 2 years ago. They won.
Houston's been in this American League Championship Series. This is the 5th year.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Why they're,
they're definitely the favorites right now because 5 years straight. I mean, that's like the Patriots 5 years in a row in the eighth championship game with the ALCS. So I mean, they're doing like really good things even after the cheating scandal, which I hate because I can't stand the Astros because of all that. But even after that, they're looking fine, and it's just. It's going to be really hard, but we beat them to get into the World Series before, so we could do it again.
2018. The Red Sox have the advantage now in this series. I think they could have won that first game.
Yeah, I agree.
Nothing in this series.
Yeah, yep.
The loss of McCullers, Houston starting pitching is a little bit in disarray. You got to seize the moment here. You got them at home. You got a chance now to take control of the series, and this is it. You're at Fenway Park, so minimum 2 out of 3.
Get aggressive offensively.
Yeah.
Get aggressive
offensively. But you need to limit them too, because like they're not going to keep winning if teams are. I hope not, but I hope they do. But they're not going to keep winning if teams keep scoring 6, 7 runs, 5 runs a game on them. Like if you're averaging 5 runs a game in one series, you're going to have to score 6 runs a game to beat them. So that's a lot of runs. Like obviously we want that, and it's possible, but it's rough.
And let's face it, Altuve scares the shit out of me.
Exactly.
No, their lineup.
Springer.
Every time he gets up,
their lineup's no joke. I mean, you look at their lineup, and like
Carrera and Altuve have some of the best postseason numbers in Major League Baseball history. Altuve's got 20 home runs.
Bregman, no, they're scary all the way. I mean, if they're on, they're tough, and they don't quit, like I said. So, I mean, the Red Sox pitching's got to just step up. You're at home now, and you got to take 2 out of 3. You can't go back to Houston down 3-2. It's got to be minimum 2 out of 3 this weekend. So
ain't no shortcuts to the promised land, brother.
They're not gonna. It's not gonna be easy.
We gotta go over this mountain. We can't go around it. We're not gonna go through it. We're gonna go over it. But like you said, 1-1 could have been up 2-0. Any Red Sox fan in the world would have taken 1-1. I don't like this format. 2-3-2. I don't know who came up with it.
Well, it's been like this for quite a while.
The NBA was the first to change because it was like in the.
I believe you're right. In the
mid-'80s. Yeah.
The 2-2, 1-1-1.
Well, the reason
2-3-2. When did that get? When did
I remember the Celtics LA Lakers series? That might have been when it first started because they wanted to cut down on the travel going back and forth from LA to Boston back and cross country. So this way you only make one trip, but.
Speaking of travel, Bob Kraft landed the jet to the Rowdy Rams. They were undefeated this year. That's pretty cool, huh?
For what, the football team?
Yeah,
really?
So they can fly down to Maryland. Yeah.
Yeah, that jet actually, if you ever go traveling in Green Airport, you can see it there quite a bit if it's not being used.
1985, it says.
Bring I'm right on the money, bro.
Yeah, I know
that?
it was something like that.
NBA, right?
Yeah.
It's Lakers.
So, but I'm not a big fan of
The 2-3-2.
I'm not a big fan of the 2-3-2 now.
Which one? The 2-2-1-1-1.
That's what I like. Yeah. Back, forth.
I like that one too.
Yeah.
But it's a lot on the players to keep going back and forth and back and forth on the jet.
Yeah.
But I agree with you. I like that one. I don't like the 2-3-2.
It's much easier today because they were flying commercial in 1985.
Yeah.
Now, does any pro team fly commercial still?
With all the money they're making, I would hope not.
Look that up. If there's any pro teams out there that
I'd find it hard to believe in this day and age that they would be, but
I wonder if Bob Kraft lets the Revolution use that plane to go to their games.
is he still the owner or no?
Yes.
Yeah, I would think so.
Yeah, most teams charter says the big three U.S.
Who
airlines.
does it?
Going to be a
Tampa Bay,
pretty
Pittsburgh.
cheap organization. Maybe somebody like that, the Oakland or bottom payroll budget or
Baseball.
yeah.
So, like I say, we'll be watching the game. Which role player? Every baseball, there's a role player that steps up and does extraordinary.
That's the $1 million question. Who's going to step up?
Yeah. Who's it going to be? Who do you like now?
It was Vasquez with the home run, remember, in the last series, and you got Arroyo laid down the bunt. I don't know who the role players for Houston would be, but every postseason that seems to be the way it happens.
And that's the reason why I like the Red Sox ultimately in the series, because I do think as you go down their bench, they got guys that can make something special happen.
Yeah, look at Pavetta.
Well, yeah.
Pavetta in the last series against Tampa.
That was awesome.
Out of nowhere and pitched. That basically won that game for him. The 5 or 6 shutout innings.
Yeah, that's crazy. He did great.
But Kiki we trust.
Yep.
Kiki,
Schwarber.
What was the post you put up? Kiki is that dude, right?
Yeah.
He is.
Kiki is that dude.
He is that dude, man. I'll tell you.
Yeah.
Whatever he's eating for breakfast, whatever he's doing.
It's like
He's following the Tom Brady life.
The breakfast of.
The
breakfast of champions.
I'll tell you a quick funny story about him. When he got the COVID, they were playing in Cleveland, and he was quarantined in his hotel room. And they said that he was watching the Red Sox games in his hotel room with his uniform on while he was quarantined with COVID.
That's crazy. That's good. With his uniform on.
Yeah.
Are you fucking kidding me, buddy?
Look it up, Mike. I'm telling you.
Really?
He was in the whole, because you're quarantined in the room. I don't know if he's just doing it as a joke or taking a picture, or if he's just had some mojo or something. He said he was watching the game with his uniform on in the hotel room. And
that's the kind of guy I want to go to war with right there. He's about it. He's about it.
Do you remember a guy by the name of Jack Hacksaw Reynolds?
Yeah, of course, yeah.
That was a similar story. He was on the bus leading up to the Super Bowl. The players are all getting on the bus. I think he was with the 49ers. And the players come out in their sweats or whatever, their style.
Yeah.
Hacksaw Reynolds came out on the bus going to the game with his helmet and his full uniform. Some of these guys are just wired different, right?
Yeah, I hear ya.
Hey, but whatever Kiki's doing, you just keep doing it, man.
Right.
You don't question
it.
So.
Absolutely. That is hilarious. Wow, and I thought Russell Wilson was a weirdo for talking to himself before the game. You have a chance to peep that out?
I checked that out.
What happened with Russell?
He was even doing like dropbacks and pretending to throw the ball.
2-minute drill.
Yeah, pretending to throw the ball with no ball. He's like throwing it. I was like, all right. I mean, same thing with him. Whatever he's doing, keep doing it. Though. He's
where
working.
The cameras are.
Yeah.
He's corny. That's some corny shit. Come on. No, but what is it? I mean,
I didn't see it.
Have you seen the video yet?
No. Well, we thought the Mans were corny, and look at what they're doing on Monday night now. So,
that's scripted. That's good. They're using a sense of humor. I love it. Okay, but this guy is in pregame with no ball.
Oh, really?
Injured, running the team like talking to offensive linemen who aren't there, talking to wide receivers who aren't there.
I didn't see it. Yeah, no, I didn't. See it.
I'm gonna pull it up for Birdie to watch it.
Doesn't have a ball in his hand.
Yeah,
I'm pulling it up for Birdie to watch it, but they're not going to be able to see it because I don't want to get flagged.
Yeah, watch Rowdy's performing magic on the wheels of steel there.
Okay.
But you got to watch this, Russell. Listen, man, you know. But the people on ESPN were not buying it, man.
I mean,
They
it's just
went up.
weird. He has no
They
ball.
used to have Dak Prescott used to go through that pregame routine where he's sweeping
Twisting his hips.
pulling his hips, side to side, and then a lot
here
of
it is. Look at-
quarterbacks are doing that
this is
now
him.
in the
Watch.
pregame, right?
Watch him.
Look at that. It's right here.
Okay.
Drop back, no ball,
Okay.
throwing it around.
Because of his hand.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, look, he's doing a 2-minute drill.
2-minute drill now.
Look, with no
Yeah,
ball,
he's doing
nothing.
a little footwork there.
Well, look at the beginning when he's huddling around with nobody.
I guess he's
just talking to no one.
That's a little bit bizarre.
And then watch, look, he drops
Yeah,
back,
yeah,
fake
yeah.
handoff, and then throws it. I mean,
Okay.
Is
Yeah,
that-
a little bit bizarre. But
yeah. Reports are because he's my fantasy quarterback too. So hopefully, Russell, please come back. I need you. But
He said 4 weeks. He said
yeah,
he's
so
gonna hit
there was
well.
he was practicing the day after it happened, and everyone's like, "Oh my God, he's practicing." But if you read the reports, he was throwing the ball with his left hand the whole time. So how much does that help you? Like you're throwing with your opposite hand the whole time. Like I don't know how much that helps you. Maybe just stay in rhythm, but like that's your opposite hand. You're never gonna be doing that in a game. So maybe he just wants to stay fit, which he's been doing well because he had a top 6 like most starts ever, and then that freak incident happened, and he broke his streak. But
Oh, really?
yeah, he
He's
was
He's like an.
he was
Iron Man.
very he was up there like 200 plus games in a row. He started, and he finally missed it because of that injury, and he was coming close to beating the other one. So sad for him, but hopefully he comes back soon.
By the time he gets back, though, like I was talking earlier, I don't know how in that division. Good luck.
Yep, no, I don't think so. No way.
Aaron Rodgers also was doing some talking, but thank God he wasn't talking to himself.
Oof.
He was talking to
I
the
still
Chicago
own you.
Bears, okay?
I own you.
Okay. He said some lady was gave
Throwing the double bird.
Give him the double bird, right? And he said he blacked out, which I think is bullshit. Okay.
I did see this particular.
Yeah. And he says, I effing own Chicago, blah, blah, blah. And statistically,
He
and
does.
in the win losses, he does.
He does.
He does. It's not a question.
You
He
know what
does.
bothers me about Aaron Rodgers? A little bit. A little bit.
Aaron,
No. When he puts the belt on,
he's got.
like he's the champ.
Oh,
What?
that's for style points.
I hear you, no doubt.
Okay, who
It's
you-
his signature
Yeah.
champ.
He is though.
But he does
he's
back-
the reigning MVP, the best player in the league.
Well, they say if you're gonna go with, he's got a lot of swag, and if you're gonna have swag, you got to be able to back it up.
If there's a belt.
Yeah, I know,
and that's
Mr.
what-
Brady. Yeah,
we know where it
Yeah,
belongs.
well, Mr. Brady.
He's been doing that for like 10 years.
I know he
though.
has. I know.
He's been doing that for a long time.
Sure.
Because that was the thing when
He's
he
a wrestling fan too,
yeah,
right?
because when they won the Super Bowl, I'll pull up the picture and put it on the screen. But when they won the Super Bowl, him and Clay Matthews, they had the World Heavyweight Championship. So ever since then, he's been doing that. Every time he scores like a rushing touchdown, he'll do that. And
No, I know. Yeah,
because I remember doing that when I was younger, when I scored a goal, because I always like loved him, and I was doing that
course.
before too.
No, it's a great gesture. Like everybody knows what this means.
Yeah.
Now, who was the first wrestler to? Who did he rip it off from?
I just think everyone does it. Just like, oh, I want the belt. Like when they're talking, when there's no microphone, because they put the microphones down, they'll just do that thing when, like, oh, I'm coming for you. Like I want the belt. Like
Somebody
everybody
must
does
have-
it.
Must have
Somebody
done that
must-
first, though.
Yeah, somebody must have started it, but I'm not sure who. But
I would say I say Ric Flair,
Flair, maybe.
probably yeah, because he's one that
Dusty
sticks out in
Rhodes.
your mind.
but bang, that's his signature knockout shot. But he does own the Chicago Bears.
Pretty bad.
One of the NFL's most rabid fan base. Tis the season of sports around here. That is for sure. We have the Red Sox game. Fans are going to be jacked up for it. We'll talk about the National Football League and what a game it was in New England as Dallas Cowboys versus the Patriots came down to the wire and then some. A great game. And let me tell you something out there, okay? Like I said, I had Dallas for number one on my rankings. I no longer have them number one. I'm going to go with Arizona number one this year.
Wow.
Yeah,
They weren't
this
even
week.
in your top 5 last week.
I know they weren't.
Wow.
And that's the mistake I made because I watched them thoroughly, and I thought they were a bunch of gimmicks and tricks. They're fast. They're mean. They fly around.
And
They're loaded.
they were playing with
They're
adversity.
loaded
They're
everywhere.
loaded.
They
loaded.
destroyed
Yeah, they got players.
Cleveland. They just wiped them out right from
And we
the
were
get-go.
talking about how Cleveland was a serious contender for
Yeah,
coming
I
into
thought
this
they
year.
were.
Found
And-
out yesterday.
Yeah, and we found out that Arizona was with nothing to play with because they went in there and stomped on them. So, I mean.
And without the head coach.
Yeah, exactly. That's huge.
And for a young
Couple
quarterback.
of coaches, yeah.
And this is his system he put in there. They hired this kid
huge
because of what he did at Texas Tech. He was like the prince of the RPO or whatever it was. All those crazy spells that turned the Big 12 into a track meet.
Yeah.
Every game. Right?
Can we get back to the Cowboys for 1 second? Can I ask you a question? Do you think that, well, obviously the Cowboys are going to win the division. Do you think that when they get in the playoffs, this coach can fuck this team up?
Yes. I don't even think it's a team. I think it's just everything around the Cowboys. We've seen the Cowboys go 13-3 3 years ago, and then they lost like the first game of the playoffs when they went.
I have,
but still, I don't trust in this Cowboys team. I think their defense is very overrated.
I've seen some bonehead, brutal stupidity in my entire life watching football. What is this McCarthy guy doing?
He's a trash coach.
First series of the game on the 29-yard line going. What exactly?
He's terrible.
His mind.
He's had. It's crazy to me because he
had
had
the field goal.
Oh my God, it's all bad. It's so bad.
But listen, right? We got a little segment with that when I come up, right? And we're going to call it the Achilles heel, right? So I'm going to name the teams that I think that are viable.
Something that will hold them back.
What could hold them back, right? And we get that because we all know. Let me tell you something, though. Let me tell you something right now. The Dallas Cowboys are loaded.
Yeah.
They are loaded.
As much as I hate to say it, yeah.
They are loaded. They may be offensively the best team in the National Football League, okay? Elliott has responded to the challenge of being worthy of more touches. And, he gets going. He's catching the ball out of the backfield. They're locked in. And I heard something about the game today about this NFL analyst. This guy was asked, this guy who was a scout for the Patriots and now is a scout for Dallas. I forget what his name is. Which young QB reminds you the most of Tom Brady? And he said, and without hesitation, he said Dak Prescott. His preparation, his team commitment to the team. Everybody likes him. He makes everybody better. And it was just an interesting analogy to hear that. Huge leadership skills. And, went in the fourth round. But what a lot of people don't know is he had a DUI right before the draft. And that, and that hurt him. So, but yeah, Dak is a bad dude, man. And the Cowboys are loaded on offense. They got playmakers on defense. Diggs. I
don't know about him. Like he all right, he has like 7 interceptions, whatever, but people don't understand how much yards he's giving up. Like the play after the pick six,
he looked bad on that play.
He got burned. Like he's ranked, last time I checked, which was last week, he's ranked 110th for yards against this year, which is not good. That means he's giving up the 110th least amount of yards. So he's ranked super low. He's giving up like over 70 yards a game, which is not that good for a corner who's supposed to have like that huge name. So I think people are overrating him a little bit.
How do you explain the 7 picks though?
He's gambling a lot. Trying to.
Well, Riley just made the point. I mean,
yeah.
Like I said, okay, first of all, he's a rookie. He shouldn't be high stepping in the end zone like he did over there. Okay, he hasn't been around long enough to do that. Okay, but. That's the name. That's the name of his generation. To look at me, see me, watch me, TikTok me, video me, YouTube me, Twitter me, Facebook me, TikTok me. That's the modern athlete.
No, yeah,
Right?
absolutely.
But like Riley said, he gave it up.
The play after, literally the play after.
Seconds. So we're at a wash right now, brother. We're at a wash. But the seven picks, and I hate to say it, when I saw him get that ball, I saw a little Dion in him.
Oh.
But
the thing about him is that the quarterbacks keep going after him for a certain reason. I think because they realize, okay, he's good, but he's not as good as he's coming out to. Like he played receiver in college, and he called up his brother Stephon Diggs when when Nick Saban switched him over to corner, like, oh, what do I do? Like, I don't want to play corner. Like, that's why he's so good when he gets the ball in his hands. His whole life, he's used to getting the ball in the open field and getting into the end zone because he was a receiver. So he has fantastic hands because he played a receiver in college as well. I just think he just overcommits sometimes, and his speed can make up for it certain times, but other times it can't, like the first play.
That was a glaring example. And you know something? The Patriots probably have your stat on him about giving up the most shots, and that's if you're going to catch him vulnerable, it's probably after a big play.
Oh yeah, for sure, because he's lapse-minded. And he's like, all right, I can do that to them.
So they're coming on him, and that's what they did.
Well, the league will catch up with them. Like they say, they get a book on a player. And now that they've his first 7 games in the league, these offensive coordinators will look over now what's been going on for the first 7 games, and it'll catch up at some point.
Yeah, no doubt. Loaded on offense. Zeke is playing well. The coach is suspect for the Cowboys, but so far, Dak, a mature young man who's a leader, and with all the talent that they have. And the Jones as an organizational group that owns them, I think the future is bright for the Cowboys. And I also think the future is bright for the Patriots. They let another one go, and they can easily have an additional 2, possibly 3 extra wins on their roster, which they don't. So you are what you are, okay? But I tell you what, if you're looking into the future, and you're saying, I can add, a touch, and turn some of those L's around into W's, and that doesn't happen overnight. That happens with leadership and character and that kind of thing. And the fact is, you lost a lot of that when Edelman and Brady and Gronk are no longer in that locker room. Okay,
Stephen Gilmore.
But I'll tell you what, Mac Jones looks real. Looks really, 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 really real. Okay, and he's just coming over home from Alabama. He's going up there. He's doing his thing.
Yeah, it looks like they hit on him. What is Aguilar looking like? I didn't really see much of the Patriots game yesterday.
I haven't really been. I haven't really been a fan of Aguilar's. Sorry about that, but I pressed the wrong button. But I haven't really been a fan of Aguilar or any of the receivers they brought in for that fact. I think that he hasn't been doing much, or like I don't know. I just think Mac Jones looks pretty good, just not as good as he could be. But it just depends on the defense that they play. Because I'm not a huge fan of the Cowboys defense or the Texans defense, which he looked good against, which could be the worst defense in the league.
Well, they ran the ball a little bit yesterday, though, right? Didn't Harris?
100
yards?
Yeah, but I'm saying even the 75-yard touchdown, which helps a lot towards his yardage at the end of the game. It was just Trayvon Diggs got burned, and that helps him huge. Like that's a 75 yards plus a touchdown onto his stat sheet at the end of it. I mean. Aguilar's okay. He hasn't played much, but I think they definitely need to go out and get another receiver this year to really, really help him because the tight ends are doing good. It's just you can't survive with tight ends being your best weapon if the tight ends aren't that good.
In a weak tight end draft, and these guys can't get on the floor. They have to pay for it, and that was a mistake. I mean, you heard Maloney, but somebody's feeding Maloney. There is an anti-Belichick faction growing, right? And somebody's feeding them the stuff. Believe me when I tell you that.
They keep losing, yeah. It's going to get a lot worse.
That type of in-depth research. I'll bet my last dollar on that. Arizona Smashers, the Bronx, fast, physical.
Yep.
Murray, 4 TDs.
That dude's he's ridiculous. I mean, he's just
Hopkins.
Hopkins is. I don't understand how you go out and trade for a guy like that. I mean, he's the second best receiver at worst in the league.
That was Bill O'Brien.
That makes no sense.
That was a Bill O'Brien thing with that leaving the whole Houston team fell apart after they got rid of Hopkins and they wanted no part of him there.
That makes no sense. That makes no sense to me. But they look like they could be the best team in football. They're first place in the NFC, first place in their division, undefeated. So they're looking really good.
The NFC is going to be a monster to get out of.
Oh, yeah. Well, it's going to be impossible.
It's going to be a monster. There's going to be real good teams out of the last seed. Rams dominate Giants, slap them around.
Yeah,
and I'll tell you what. I'll tell you what. The Detroit Lions are still losing. Matt's gone. But his play has elevated the Rams.
Oh, my God. Yeah, it's not even.
Clearly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you really have to look at a talent like this and say, did he waste it in playing for a god-awful franchise like
Yes,
the Detroit Lions for so long?
Yeah, I believe
How
so.
many times have we seen this guy on national TV?
Not like once a year for Thanksgiving, right? That's about it. But you see it now. They're what? They could arguably the best team in football. Only lost to the undefeated team. Everyone's picking them to go far. I mean, they look untouchable right now. They're just everything. They beat the Bucks like quite comfortably too.
They're balanced all the way.
Oh yeah.
How about that look-away pass?
Oh yeah, nobody does that in the league except Mahomes, and now Stafford. This is what I think. I don't like about Mahomes is that everyone blows it up when he doesn't do it, and it's all over ESPN. But Matthew Stafford does it, and you see it once, and that's it. Like blow it up just as much as Mahomes did. Like just because it's Matthew Stafford, it's just as cool.
ESPN is told to talk about certain athletes for clickbait.
I know.
I believe that.
And, no, they are.
Yeah, I do believe that.
People ask Paul Pierce. They say they try to make him talk about LeBron, all the time. That's the business. The Ravens smacked the Chargers.
Woo!
Some people are saying Lamar Jackson is the MVP.
He is.
I say go slow.
He is. His passing numbers are literally numbers that are like a pocket passer, and then you add on his rushing numbers. It's absurd. His numbers for passing wise are top 5, and then his rushing numbers for QBs is number 1, and his rushing numbers are in the top 10. It's just. He's doing it all around, and it's just nuts. It's absolutely nuts.
Well, whether it was Harbaugh or the offensive coordinator that game planned that game, he only threw 22 times.
Yeah.
They knew that they were going to run the ball because the Chargers are the worst run defense in the league, and they just bludgeoned them on the ground. So when Lamar only has to throw 20 times a game, you know you're winning that game. That means he's.
But the one against the Chiefs, he threw a good amount because they had to come back from that one.
Yeah, no, that one.
Yeah,
that
and the one against Indy, he threw a lot.
But what I'm saying, the recipe for them is when they can run the ball, they don't have to throw it.
Exactly.
Good luck trying to beat that.
You want to get out to a lead quick.
Run the ball, it's much easier to throw the ball.
Yep. Especially when you have the best running weapon in the league.
But again, like we said with Rodgers,
Yep.
Don't wake me up.
Yeah. You want to see it in January.
Until you win a big playoff game, right? That's where I'm at. Green Bay versus the Bears. The Bears got their ass kicked by Aaron Rodgers, who owns Chicago.
Yep.
When Bear fans see that and the championship belt, stuff like that, does that make Bears fans like him even more?
Must make them hate him even more, I guess.
or hate him more.
I guess they hate him already, and now he starts going at it with the crowd. So he backs up everything he does for the most part. So,
yeah,
I mean,
that's why.
You can get away with it.
That's why.
You got to be able to back it up, otherwise you're gonna.
You got to be a bad dude.
He is a bad dude
to talk like that.
The throws that he makes are just, you're just seeing greatness is all it is. I mean, the combination of him and Adams right now, Riley, I can't, except aside from Brady and Gronk, they're just about
It's unstoppable. It's literally unstoppable, and that's why I had to pick them.
2 or 3 guys on him to stop him.
Yeah. It doesn't make any sense. Like I was watching this game. I don't know if you were watching it, but Adams caught the ball. He got hit. He tiptoed the sideline, and he was like inches away from like another 45-yard touchdown catch. And I'm like, dude, these guys are ridiculous. Yeah. Like that's why pretty much in the DFS and the fantasy stuff, everyone has to pick Davante Adams because
you're giving up points.
If you don't pick him, you're losing points. He's just like impossible to cover, and he's just so good with the ball in his hand. It's ridiculous. Those two together is just pure magic, and that's why I hope they stay together. If they get away from Green Bay, maybe they can go to the same team. But if not, hopefully keep them together and win something together.
Rodgers should stay in Green Bay.
Oh, he's a free agent at the end of the year.
Stay in Green Bay, finish in Green Bay, grab another title in Green Bay. Break the records in Green Bay.
Well, I'm sure they're going to give them every penny possible to keep him there. Whether he wants to stay or not, that's that $1 question.
I don't think he wants to stay, but we'll see at the end of the year. It depends if they win something or not.
He's having some fun this year.
Yep.
Let his hair grow.
Yeah,
like literally, let his hair down. Right, literally.
Yep.
Right. Are you buying the long-haired Aaron Rodgers look and the TV commercial doing Aaron Rodgers?
I like his TV commercials. I think he does pretty good on them. He's got good wit to him.
He does. Okay, folks, let's get down to that nitty gritty. Tell me the teams in the NFL that are capable of winning the championship this year. I have my list in front of me.
There was a lot of separation this week of the haves and the
Without
have-nots.
question, that's why.
I mean, you can look at about 4 or 5 divisions right now, and we're 6 weeks into the season, and it's a wrap. I mean, yeah, Buffalo, Dallas, Green Bay. Who's beating Tom Brady? I mean, that's 4 right there. Tennessee's got a 2 or 3 game lead. Even if they lose tonight, I think they're still going to have a 2-game lead. I mean, it's not what Goodell wants, but it's the haves and the have-nots is what it is.
Okay. Are the Chargers capable of winning
No.
the Super Bowl? I said no. I
No.
agree.
No.
See, one
Now, here's my cutoff. Here's my cutoff point. Right? And this is the team I think with the worst odds, but still can. In my opinion. Not the odds that are in Vegas. I'm sure they're different. In my opinion, right now, the backdoor entry of this in 8th place is Kansas City Chiefs.
Yeah.
Oh no, they're still in. The Chiefs is definitely still in the conversation.
Oh, yeah.
Absolutely.
But
Yeah.
not really, though.
Well, as long as Mahomes is still
no,
chucking it.
You're right. I mean,
Kelsey just got banged up at the end of the game. He came out and he was holding his finger or whatever, his hand, and it looked really bad because he was like bending over. So that could be a huge blow if they lose him for like 3 or 4 weeks and lose another 2
absolutely, yeah.
games. Because even though the Broncos still lost and the Raiders won, so the Raiders 3-3. The Broncos are. Well, the Raiders, I don't know. Whatever, fuck the Raiders. But the Broncos are 3-3. So are the Chiefs. The Chiefs are 3-3 as well. So we're still tied at last place, but the Chiefs are definitely going to be in the playoffs.
That division's
no
a
question.
dogfight. It's it's wide open.
There's no way that
I'm not so sure that I think the Chiefs belong in the playoffs. I think the NFL product is better when we see Mahomes in postseason and Kelsey and the Thrill Hill. Okay, but I in that division, I do not see them as a lock to make the playoffs. I'm sorry.
I still think it's a lock that they win the division.
Probability.
I think it's a lock that they win the division. I think the Chargers are going to might get exposed quickly because just like this week they played the Ravens and they got smashed on very, very bad. And Herbert didn't look great. The offense didn't look great. The defense did not look good. They gave up a lot of points. I mean, they did beat the Chiefs, but the Chiefs haven't started out to a great start either. So I still think the Chiefs win this division.
You still think the Chiefs win the division?
Yeah.
I'm not so sure, but I'm taking a field in that.
Yeah,
I'm gonna
Chiefs
take the field.
defense. You can't trust that defense with Kansas City.
You can trust the Chargers defense?
More than I would Kansas City's, even though they had a bad game yesterday. Kansas City's defense is just. I know they played decent yesterday, but I got to see it on more than 1 week before I can, say that the Chiefs are definitely going to win that division.
So KC is at the bottom floor. We got 8 floors, right? KC is on the first floor. The title's on the 9th floor. All right.
Yeah, I think KC will get in the playoffs.
Yeah.
I just don't. Whether it's a wild card or whatever.
Some other teams get in the playoffs too, but they have no chance of winning.
Yeah. Well, with Mahomes, you will have a chance to win.
Yeah,
though. That's the difference.
A very slight chance. Next up, okay, is it Green Bay Packers?
They should be way higher than that.
They're not in order.
Oh, they're not in order?
No, I mean, but who would you put them above the Bills?
No.
Same level
Right
for
now?
me.
Would you put
Same
them above
level.
the Ravens?
Yes, because experience.
Yeah. Cowboys?
Yes, for
Yes.
sure. Not even a question.
Really?
Yes, not a question.
Aaron
Green Bay.
Rodgers.
Yes, 100%.
You put them against the Rams?
Oof.
Same floor. I mean,
Tampa?
again, same floor.
No, because they lost to them last year at home. No, not yet. Not from what I've seen. Not yet.
Let me tell you something. We're talking about the Achilles heels. Tampa's got big problems if they don't
that's
address
correct.
the DB thing.
That's
Yes,
correct.
their secondary might be the worst in the league, and Richard Sherman did not look good either. Like,
No, he's out for 2 weeks. So
yeah,
Can we look up the NFL trade deadlines? All right, but I didn't put these in order though. Okay, I did it. They came out. I did the NFC first. We can see it right, and then I had forgotten Green Bay, so I added it down here. So Green Bay, okay. We talked about the Achilles heels for Kansas City. I think the Achilles heel for
November 2nd, NFL
Green
trade
Bay
deadline.
is the coach. Again, listen to me. We want to talk about McCarthy and what, you know, how bad he is, okay? And the dumb luck to fall into Jerry Jones' world in Dallas is unbelievable for him, okay? Stand next to him when it's lightning and thundering out because he's a lucky prick, okay? But Green Bay, for the life of me, I cannot in a million years understand why they punted that football, why they kicked that football.
Well,
For 100, listen to me.
No,
Do
I
not overcomplicate it. Put the ball
mean, in your best player's
in your
hands
best
to win
player's
the game.
hands.
Yeah,
Period.
but he's taken enough heat for that. That really is his only flaw right now.
Because he's 31-7 as a head coach in the regular season, so he's doing pretty good.
So I will give him the benefit of the doubt for now. But
I'm not, because he blew it out. If I'm Aaron Rodgers, know what I tell him? No.
Well, he will this year, but
What?
I mean, he will if it happens again this year. But
I think the Packers' biggest Achilles heel is their defense. Their secondary, and especially just because they have one like top 3 corner in the league is Jair Alexander. But other than that, like he can cover one side. But other than that, they have some. Kevin King was not good last year against the Buccaneers. If they come up a team that has a lot of weapons like the Bucs, like the Rams, like the Cardinals, teams in the NFC, they could have some problems with their second or third options because of how not good their secondary is.
Okay. Somebody, I wish I had an email to like the greatest Packer fan in the world. Riley's a stud with stats, and maybe you can help me out too. How come Aaron Rodgers only has 1 Super Bowl?
I think Mike McCarthy might be part of that.
Yes, he is. He's a huge part of that.
But,
Looking back on it now, the way we're seeing this guy coach with Dallas, you're like, wow, maybe he held them back for a couple of rings that Rodgers should have had.
Yeah.
Maybe Rodgers couldn't wait to get him out of there, obviously. So
Couple of shit luck ones too. The one people forget, the one against the Seahawks, they had that game in the bag.
I remember
so
that.
hard, and that was not Rodgers' fault because once it on the onside kick, he didn't touch the ball once after that.
Yeah,
which if the dude just lets the ball go over, Jordy Nelson, who at that time was a top 7 receiver in the NFL, is just gonna catch the ball and kneel down. He tries to play hero ball, lets it go through his hands, hits his helmet, lands to the Seahawks. The Seahawks score. Goes to overtime. The Seahawks get the ball in overtime. The defense couldn't stop a nosebleed. They go down the field in 2 plays, and the Seahawks go to the Super Bowl against the Patriots.
No.
And in that year, the Packers beat the Patriots in the regular season in the regular season game. It would have been we would have seen our Rodgers and Brady Super Bowl that we all wish we could have seen, but
and I think
didn't happen.
Eli Manning, didn't he?
Yep,
beat him in the NFC.
Yep, there was a
Championship
16-0.
game.
There was a 15-1 season the Packers had.
That's the one that they talk about.
Yeah, 15-1 season, and
But I
they
can
lost
see
that
how
game.
they would beat them because nobody knew how good that defensive line was until the
Until they
playoffs
got
that
to
year.
the Patriots.
Yeah, and what they do with the Patriots.
Yeah.
I mean, they had some serious.
Strahan, Justin Tuck.
Pierre Paul, right?
I don't know if
This was
Pierre-Paul
2011,
there
so
yet.
I don't know.
Ukiora.
But I would put the Packers for me in like the upper echelon with like the teams that have the best chance of winning this year.
What floor you got them on?
If there's 8 floors,
No, ninth for the championship. Yeah.
so only one team could be on one floor at a time.
No.
Oh, okay. Then
They're one level below right now, just one step below, I believe.
so you don't think
7th floor,
Something like that, yeah.
so?
7th. Or you want them on the 8th?
I put them on the 8th. Yeah.
See, the thing about the Packers, you got to remember, and this is why you want to watch the Chargers to see how they respond to that bad loss. Look what the, Green Bay did when they got smoked the first game, 38-3, right?
Yeah.
What did they do? They came back. Aaron Rodgers responded every week, and now he's
Relax.
Yeah, but so we're gonna really see the real Packers coming up because their schedule is rough coming up in the next 5
Do
weeks.
you want Aaron
Rough.
Rodgers to stay in Green Bay? I don't.
I
don't.
I don't because I want him to come to Denver more than anything in this world. But yes, I would like
Would
to.
Denver be a place that he would go to?
Yeah, because we have a lot of weapons, a pretty good defense, a historical, great team. But I just hope he goes to a team that I care about. Like, not care about, but a team that I don't hate. Like the Raiders, if you went to the Raiders, I'd break my heart. Some team like that. Like the Seahawks, I wouldn't want that. The Patriots, I wouldn't want that. If he just goes to Green Bay or any team in the NFC I don't care about, I'm fine with.
He's not going to any team. He's going to a playoff-ready team.
Yeah,
He's not going to a rebuild.
Yeah, it's certainly a team that can win. He thinks he can win a championship.
Yeah, at his age. So
And a guy who likes to talk shit, a guy that likes to tell everybody how good he is. I can see him going to maybe a little bit of a different, bigger market. But like I said, they got to be ready. They got to be ready. But here's the deal. Forget all that, right? Stay in Green Bay.
Well, they love him there.
Get better. Get better. Have the Brady effect take place where guys are going to go with you because they're one step away from a championship. Have guys come for less money. It's a great story, a great place. What do I say? Anytime we change the variable, Birdie, right? It can go bad. You know what I mean? If I'm the Packers owner, right? And they're actually owned by
the people.
But there is an acting.
Somebody's in shot. Mark Murphy.
I say this.
General manager.
To the general manager, and I say this to the coach. Find a way to keep Aaron, or you're both fired. Because at the end of the day, Aaron Rodgers is going to affect my bottom line more than you two. Aaron Rodgers is going to win me more games than you two, okay? Aaron Rodgers is the face of the franchise. You two clearly are not, okay?
Yep.
And at the end of the day, from a business decision, forget the football, because we all know that's a wrap in Rodgers' favor. In a business decision, it's in the best interest of the Packers to keep Aaron Rodgers. Do not let what happened to Tom Brady
or Brett
for
Favre.
A couple of
Brett Favre
for a couple of coaches, and a couple of administrators that think that they're smarter than the game. Trust your eyes, trust the optics and what it is, and go with it. Keep Rodgers in Green Bay if you have any sense. That's my rant. The Bills! Mafia! There's more than wings going down in Buffalo, man. They say they're partying down and want the Bills are going to Super Bowl.
Are they jumping headfirst onto tables in the parking lot?
Bills Mafia.
Hey, this is a long...
They should have jumped headfirst into Niagara Falls when no one missed that field goal.
long suffering fan base. Yeah. You know what this reminds me of, this fan base?
The Red Sox?
Bingo.
Yeah, of course.
Think about it, right?
No, and it's because of that reason that I wouldn't mind seeing him grab one again, because we've been on the other end of that. But I bet on the Titans tonight, getting 6.5, Birdman, at home.
There's a little revenge factor in this game from last year, but Derrick Henry's got to run the ball, the key to that game tonight. Sure. If he runs the ball, the Tennessee can win, but if he doesn't run, look out.
Where are you at with the Bills? Are they capable of winning the Super Bowl?
Oh, absolutely. Right now, from what I've seen so far this year, if they stay healthy, absolutely. Health is the key to anything.
Young Buck, Rowdy, are they capable of winning the Super Bowl?
Yes, but I don't think they will. I had them losing in the Super Bowl. I think it's just going to sadly be the same thing.
So you have them beating the Ravens so far?
Yes, I said that in the beginning of the season. I'll stick with it until I see something differently. This is a huge game for them, I think, today against the Titans.
Yeah,
because I also like the Titans a lot. The Titans
are talented enough,
and they're getting healthy
to challenge them.
Yes. The Titans' defense is their question mark, right, Riley?
Yes, for sure.
But here's the thing you were talking about. You talk about Achilles heels for a team? I haven't seen one on Buffalo yet this year. Have you?
Inexperience. They don't have much. They don't have much experience in the playoffs.
No. You guys are missing it. The Achilles heel for Buffalo is their history.
Yeah, experience.
Is their history. Because you know something. That 10-pound sack that weighs 10 pounds on your back. That gorilla. That gorilla from the Franklin Park Zoo. Okay, that gorilla on their back, Birdie, weighs 40 pounds.
Well, that gorilla was on my back.
And he's eating every day.
It was on my back up with the Red Sox up until 2004.
So we know what it's like. And it's eating every day, and it's doing push-ups. The gorilla on the back of the Buffalo Bills is doing push-ups every time they win. Every time they get closer, and their tortured fan base get closer, more and more people write about them, more and more expectations. But there's always that what if. And that, my friends, is the Achilles heel of the Buffalo Bills. Ravens.
One floor right below the champion. So the Packers and the Bills, I have the Ravens right here.
Really?
Yes, for sure. And maybe
So they're gonna make that big step.
I was thinking maybe even the same floor as them. I think that team is absolutely so talented, one of the most talented teams in the NFL, especially when you have a weapon like Lamar. They're getting Rashad Bateman back. They just absolutely blown out one of the teams that everybody was picking a couple weeks ago to go to the Super Bowl, to even win the Super Bowl in the Chargers. And they just put an absolute statement out there. And I feel like nobody's talking about the Bills when they've had some really good wins this year. The comeback win against the Colts was huge when they were down a lot. That showed a lot of adversity. The huge win against the Chiefs, who have been the best AFC team for the last 3 or 4 years. The huge win against the Chargers, who was everybody's new favorite, like, toy in town. They've had some really, really good wins, and I really like that team. I have them maybe even the same level as the Packers and Bills, but like literally they're like opening the door to get to that next level. They're right there, I think, for me.
You might be onto something too. Lamar is starting. I want to see a couple more games, but he is starting to look like that guy from 2 years ago when he was an MVP.
I told you he studies. Quarterbacks have to study.
But
Quarterbacks. What did Ray Lewis and Ed Reed tell the Ravens? He goes, "Your ass better be with the clicker in your hand, because we know number 12 has already got it in his hand, right? All night, right? What was Ray Lewis? He was having nightmares of Brady clicking the screen. Click, click.
Yeah, no.
You know what I mean? And that's what Dak does. That's what the great ones do. I mean, if you're Aaron Rodgers and you have this God's gift of less torque, less motion, but the ball
flick of his wrist.
The ball can explode off your hand or go like a lightly placed lob tennis shot, into an area this big.
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
In the back of an end zone, But don't wake me and don't shake me about Mr. Jackson. All right. Miss Jackson, don't wake me and shake me about Mr. Jackson until he wins the playoff game.
I just love seeing that 4.2 speed, though. To watch that, though, that's what gets me. The moves he makes on the field. Win, lose, or draw, he is just an unbelievable
There is
athlete.
going to be snow and ice.
That's fine.
He did it. He did it against Tennessee last year in the playoffs. He just needs to make one more step up.
We'll put him on the clock.
For me, he's right there.
Them boys. Where's Dallas at, Riley?
I don't have them high at all.
No.
I don't think they've beaten.
You see a little bit more.
Yeah, I don't see. I think their defense is not that good. I don't know. I just don't trust them. They haven't won. How many playoffs games have they won since like the last 20 years? Like two playoff games in the last 20 years. Yeah, but the NFC is just loaded, and I think so many teams are a lot better than them.
You don't think their talent jumps off the TV at you?
It does. Their offense is great, which it's always been, and their offense was historically fantastic when Dak and Zeke were rookies at
You
their
don't think they're
at the
flying
height
around
of
on
it.
defense?
They are, but I just think an offense like the Patriots to keep up with you that much, which no disrespect to the Patriots, but their offense isn't as good as the Packers, or isn't as good as the Cardinals, or isn't as good as the Rams, not even close to the Bucks. Those are 4 teams you're going to have to get through to get to the NFC Championship game without a question. And the Patriots offense kept up with them. Never mind one of those best offenses in the league. I mean, I don't know.
NFC is going to be a monster.
Exactly.
Monster.
And then you got wild card teams like the 49ers.
You know what it sets up for, as crazy as this sounds? It sets up for Tampa, because Tampa is probably playing in the worst division, right?
No, Dallas is actually. Think about it.
Yeah,
Giants,
you're
Philly,
right.
the Redskins are horrible.
Because the Panthers are only 2 games behind the Buccaneers. If they beat the Bucks, they're only 1 game behind for the division. The Cowboys are so far ahead of all the other teams.
That division's done.
They already beat the Eagles. Your team is like what, 1 and something.
Playing a murderous schedule.
Yeah, the Giants are like 1 and something. That division's over. But the Bucks do have a fairly easy division. But the Saints are another team to watch out. If the Saints can finish 7th seed, they could upset a team, the 2 team or the 3 team if they come in.
Yeah, Sean Payton and the Saints would playoff.
Even a team like that who can put up a lot of points against Dallas, I don't think Dallas would want to face a team like that could put up a lot of points.
You don't want to see a team with a lot of a team that'll win is with one of the best coaches in the game in the first round of any playoffs in any sport. All right, we go to the Rams. They're right there, right? Right there.
It's a complete team. It's there for the taking. They lost to Arizona after playing Brady. So
do they catch Arizona? Because let me tell you something, Birdie. They're not going to go to the Super Bowl
As a
play a wild card schedule.
We've seen a lot of teams do it.
There's too much talent.
No, I know,
NFC
but they're
this year.
only a game behind Arizona, right?
Sure, that's what I'm saying.
5-1.
They're gonna catch 'em.
They've beaten Arizona 8 times in a row up until they lost to them. They got caught, the hangover from the Tom Brady game, huh?
They got smashed.
Yeah, but it was a Tom Brady
You're
hangover.
right, yeah.
But they're gonna see the Cardinals again, though. That's the thing.
Yeah,
And
they
that's
got
gonna be
them
a
again.
huge game. That as soon as that game was ended, Sean McVay went over there and was like, "All right, I'm circling this game, and we better be ready for that one." But you know who won the Super Bowl last year and were a wild card
slow
team?
down and stop acting like a cheerleader on the sidelines, too. He's an NFL coach.
The Buccaneers did win the Super Bowl, and they played the most
road
games
games
because
were
they were
wild
because they were
Sure,
technically
sure,
a wild card
sure.
team because whatever. But they did play a lot of games as well. Only one team gets a bye now too, so that's huge because it's not two
talking
teams.
about the bye is important, but I'm talking about just. I just think this year, right?
Oh yeah, the path is brutal for the NFC, like you said.
the
It's,
NFC.
They're gonna have to face a real team. It's not like last year when the Bucks got the Redskins, and you were like, okay, this is the worst team in the playoffs by far. It's not even
Sure.
close. Like
Right, yeah.
this year, it's gonna be like, oh my god,
And the
like every
Redskins gave
game.
him more problems than anybody else did.
Exactly, yeah, but it's gonna be very, very brutal. Not even like the AFC. The NFC is gonna be way ahead.
I mean, if there's anybody that can win the 3 playoff games, it's Tom Brady, because I think that he's almost better on the road in those situations. Would you say that, Birdie?
Well, there's nobody never going to bet against Tom Brady, but you're going to look at this NFC, and you're going to have matchups before the NFC Championship game. You could have Brady versus Aaron
Dallas.
Rodgers. This is in the quarterfinals. I'm talking about.
Even the wild card.
Rodgers.
Even the wild card.
Kyler Murray, Brady, Dak Prescott, Kyler Murray.
Brady,
As long as everybody stays healthy on these teams, health is the key. You don't want to see none of these quarterbacks go down. So that's what we're hoping for.
Even the 49ers, who I wouldn't put in this in the Super Bowl talk, but if they sneak into the wild card, I would not want to play them either because they were in the Super Bowl 2 years ago. Trey Lance starts to put stuff together. Debo Samuels looked really good. That defense is great. So they still have those lower tier wild card teams that are good, which are really good. I don't think the AFC has those lower tier wild card teams that are at that level.
It'll be interesting. It'll be interesting for sure. So, we have the teams that are capable in the elevator, right?
Oh, you're seeing it now, yeah.
Now you're seeing it.
You're seeing separation. You saw Cleveland yesterday lay an egg, and we thought they were going to be a contender, and it looks like they're not. The Chargers, now you have questions with the Chargers the way they got beat, because up until yesterday, there were a lot of people that were on the Charger bandwagon.
Right, yeah.
But I'm not saying to
guilty
saying to
as
get off them. You just
I'm saying
want
to get off
see
them.
how
I'm
they
saying to get off
respond
them.
coming off that loss. That's all it is. Like we said with Green Bay earlier, after they got smoked the first game, they responded. We'll see if Hebert responds, what they do the next couple of weeks.
Sure.
Mike Williams, who's been a huge part of their offense, just got hurt too, and he wasn't in for most of the second half of the game too. So that could really hurt them if they put a string of losses together and fall back, because the Chiefs are coming up too. They're winning a couple of games. It's going to be tough.
It's a week-to-week league. So.
Yeah.
It's a hard knock life.
Oh,
Yep.
In the NFL, that's sure. Red Sox, Fenway is going to be hyped. Fenway is going to be lit. Fenway is going to be raucous and rowdy and ready. So, Houston, you better come correct because the Red Sox are waiting on you. The NFL's getting crazy. College football, we haven't even talked about it. And the Michigan Wolverines say what? Are undefeated still. What is going on? Alabama bounces back. Georgia thumps Kentucky. It's going to get real interesting. Don't forget about them BadCatz.
Iowa
got beat.
Yeah.
Iowa got beat. So, NBA, low expectations for the Celtics. Shame on the pundits. High expectations for the Bruins. We're going to see who gets there. It's BadCatz Sports. See you tomorrow night, Tuesday, at the BadCatz Sports Podcast at Mesa 21. Peace.